one of the guys that get a lot of credit is Steve Blackman from Muscular Development. I mean, those guys have done an extraordinary job for years and years and years to promote health, to promote fitness, to promote strength, to promote bodybuilding, powerlifting, weightlifting, and all of those kind of things. So the contributions they made is gigantic, and I hail them for that.
Ron Harris here from MuscularDevelopment.com. Our coverage of the Arnold Classic weekend in Columbus, Ohio, brought to you by High-Tech Pharmaceuticals. Standing here with the new Arnold Classic Physique champion, George Peterson III, and his coach extraordinaire, Justin Miller. Congratulations, George.
Thank you so much, Ron. I'll tell you, man, when we first, made the decision to do the Arnold Classic, the only expectation we had was to come in better than we ever did, and we did that, and the results speak for themselves here.
Justin, you were sending me update pictures and videos. Yep. This guy looked ready like 6 weeks ago. Yep. He was in better condition. I'm not putting anybody down. 5-6 weeks ago than most of these other guys were today. Do you have a strategy with him? Do you purposely get him ready early? Does this guy's physique just tighten up like that?
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, he's so damn big. He's got so much muscle that we got to go down. We got to get down to the weight. Yeah. So I don't want to crash diet him at the end, so we just got down slowly, He could be much bigger. He could hold more muscle and be still ripped, but I wanted to get him down so it wasn't a shock to his system because, if you do too much at the end, he flatten out, the whole point coming in here after the Olympia was to be fuller and rounder. The Olympia, he was a little flat, didn't pop as much, so we wanted to rectify that, so I wanted to get him down in weight slowly. But in getting him down in weight, he got ripped on the way down. So he's ripped early. It was just as we had to whittle his weight down.
George, how did you keep your fullness in? Because I know 192 is not a weight your body wants to be at. You were in this condition. I think you were sending me pictures, videos when you were like 2:0. You were closer to 210, and you weren't much different from this. Right. So was it really tough these last few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, the last few weeks, last few days especially, has been, tough to get down in weight. I mean, my cutoff is 192. We ended up weighing in at 189, which shows, we wanted to really make sure we had that leeway because, scales could be different. You can step on one scale that says 192, another scale will say 193. So we wanted to make sure we gave ourselves enough room, and we did that. But I had to go days, 0 carbs. I had to go most of my days are below 50 grams of carbs a day, so it's rough. But I have a strong belief that when you're doing a show that has tons of different great competitors, what's going to separate you from them is going places that others are not willing to go. So when I'm put in a situation with a really hard diet, where I'm getting absolutely no carbs, going through really hard training sessions with Justin, when he has me squatting and he tells me to do 10 more and I'm already spent, I know I'm entering a world that a lot of other people wouldn't be willing to enter. And the fact that they're not willing to enter that, but I feel like will separate me from the rest.
Justin, he's been top 3 in the world 2 years in a row. Right. Was there ever a concern that maybe doing the Arnold would affect him in any way for the Olympia? I mean, you guys must have had some discussions about that. How did you ultimately come to this decision to do the Arnold?
Yeah, we were definitely, we've had discussions. We asked people's advice. We asked Bev, we asked Steve, we asked people from the gym. And ultimately it came down to George and I, and we had a discussion. We went out to dinner, and we said, what are the pros and cons? And we figured, today's social media, it's a different environment than when we came up in this round. So it's like, the athlete's value increases with more social media, more attention. And George was fresh. He did 7 shows the year before. So it was 2 amateur shows to turn pro, and then 5 pro shows. So it was a lot. So we took off, from one Olympia to the next. But we had a whole year off, and George was like trying to convince me. He's like, I feel fresh. Let's do it. I could do the Arnold. We could win it, and I'm fresh. I'm ready to go. So I was like, you know what?
Why not?
Let's do it.
That was one of those situations where I felt in my heart that doing this show would not affect our progress for the Olympia. And of course it's the Arnold Classic. It's a title that I would love to have because
you have it now.
Yeah, exactly. Because as I told you, Ron, when at our first interview, like when it comes to this term classic. One of the bodybuilders that I feel is the epitome of classic is Flex Wheeler. And how many times did Flex Wheeler win this show?
5. No, 4.
4 times.
Dexter won at 5.
Yeah, there you go. So, so for now, I can, got Flex Wheeler who won it, Sean Ray, who's another one of my favorites who's won it. And for me to be in that list of guys who've won titles.
Kevin
Leveroni, of course.
Ronnie Coleman. Jay Cutler.
And now we can say George Peterson.
How did it feel? Last question. Arnold was up there, and he's in his interview with you. He said this is his favorite division.
Right.
Which is probably a bummer to the open guys if they were listening to that. But how did it feel? This is all of our idols. This is the guy that we all looked up to and got into this. And here he is telling you, you represent what he feels is best about the sport today.
Right. I mean, it was an unbelievable feeling. I mean, he said that to us also backstage, and that's the reason why my heart is with Classic. That's why people always say, "Oh, why don't you just go to 212, go to Open?" It's not. It's more than that. There's a passion that people have for this class. And what Arnold said there fuels that passion, my passion for this class, and I want to do my part in doing this class justice,
Yeah. Natalia, don't go anywhere. George Peterson, Justin Miller, huge congratulations. It's a team effort. Justin, just so you guys know, this is a guy that is more worried about the show than his clients are. I think he gets more upset when they lose and happier when they win than they do. That's what a real coach should be. They should be that invested, and I know this man is. George put the work in, doesn't talk trash about anybody, keeps his head down, just works. Can you turn around and show that back for a close-up?
Oh, absolutely.
This is the most insane back in Classic, possibly even in Open. I'm trying to figure out if anybody in Open can get him. Normally I wouldn't do this, but this is special. This is definitely an exception. That is just the most insane back. Okay. Boom. Shows her one from the back. Boom. That's why. And there you have it, folks. The greatest back in Classic. Maybe the greatest back in the sport, competitive sport today. It's hard to say. Congratulations, George. Well earned.
Thank you.
Justin, well done.
Thank you, Ron.
Appreciate you guys taking the time, and congratulations again. See you at the Olympia.
Giles Thomas for MuscularDevelopment.com here at the Friday night finals at the 2019 Arnold Classic, joined with the new women's physique Arnold Classic champion, Natalia. Natalia, I am so excited that you won.
So am I.
Yes. Now, I mean, we were here last year. You took second place. You took second place at the Olympia, and you're still so young. I can't get, this is something I just can't get my head around.
Yes, but that's a good thing, Like, I think when you're young, you should work harder because you have more time to get better and better. So I've been doing my best, trying my best, and I guess it's working.
Yeah. I mean, you've been training since, or competing since, am I correct in saying since you were 16?
Yes, I started training when I was 15 and competing when I was 17.
Yeah. Now, you switched from figure to physique in 2017. Correct, yes. I mean, you did the Olympia as a figure in 2017. I'm so glad that you went and switched to physique, because I was actually on the boards in 2017 saying, I think Natalia really needs to switch. I think her leg's a little bit too big for figure. And then after the Olympia, you switched to physique. Obviously, you're happy you made that move.
I'm very, very happy because at the Olympia, the first year that I did the Olympia, I was in last place, literally last place as figure competitor. And then when I went to physique, I jumped from 16th to second place. So I'm like, okay, there's something wrong here. It's not about my physique. I'm just in the wrong category. And now I'm in women's physique, loving the category. And I hope to represent, the women's physique division for a long time.
So you switched from figure to physique. Was it just because of your placings, or was it because your physique was actually just developing?
Was actually because I talked to the judges, and especially the head judges, and they told me, Natalia, you have two options. Either you start training lighter and you become softer, maybe increase your body fats a little bit, or you go up to women's physique. And I was kind of, skeptical about going up because I didn't want to, gain too much muscle or get, I didn't want to change my physique.
Yeah.
But I always love to train hard, and I would hate to go to the gym with the mindset of I cannot give my 100%. I gotta give 80%. So I'm like, I'm gonna give it a try, come with the same weight, same package, and see how it goes.
So your physique looked completely different from last year, because last year I felt you were a little bit light in the arms. And then as soon as you came on stage yesterday, I went, she's brought them up.
Yes, I've been focusing a lot in my upper body, especially middle back, delts, because I know I could improve a little bit. I was a little too small in this area. Even though the judges said the proportion was good. So I also work hard on my legs to bring it up and keep the proportion, the symmetry.
I noticed more V-taper as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
right?
when you really opened up, it was just like, and you did that front double bicep, everything just popped.
A lot of pullovers.
A lot of pullovers.
Yes.
Okay, so obviously, are you going to go to the Arnold Australia? There's no women's physique, is there, at the Arnold Australia?
I wish there was. I would like to do it.
You would go.
Yes, I would.
So is this now, are you locked down until the Olympia?
Yes, I'm definitely gonna focus at all because that's, I think every athlete's goal, is to go to Olympia, win an Olympia show. But I'm gonna talk to my coach and see what's next.
So definitely the Olympia.
Yes, I will be there for sure.
I can't get my head around how you and Shanique are so young.
Yes, like
Crazy.
it's crazy, right? But it is what it is, I think she's 23, I'm 22, we're right there.
23. I mean, that's insane. So good, so young. I kind of think, where are you going to be in like 3, 4, 5 years' time?
Yes, hopefully I'm gonna be improving. I'm gonna be doing my best for sure. I promise you that.
Okay, Natalia. So you gonna have some nice food after the show?
Honestly, I'm just looking forward to my steak and my baked potatoes.
How you stay in such good condition all year round?
That's the key, you know.
Yeah.
What you do after the show and before your next show is gonna, make the difference.
All right, Natalia, I'm gonna let you go get your steak, but. So happy for you, and I can't wait to see you in Vegas at the Olympia, giving Shanique hell again.
Thank you so much.
Okay, with Natalia Coelho, I'm Giles Thomas for MuscularDevelopment.com.
Ron Harris here from MuscularDevelopment.com with our coverage of the Arnold Classic weekend here in Columbus, Ohio. Brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. I'm here with, she already was the 2-time reigning Olympia champion in figure. Now, Cydney Gillen can add to that, Arnold Classic Figure International Champion. Congratulations, Cydney.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and this is a win that I really, really wanted.
See, that's what I want to ask you, because a lot of people that I've known over the years that were holding the Olympia title, they didn't want to do anything else. They were afraid that would sort of, have some effect on the Olympia prep or whatever. Did you ever have that hesitation, or did you know this was the title you wanted and you were going to go after it, and it's not going to have any impact on defending your Olympia title in 6 months in a negative way? You'll still keep winning Olympias.
I didn't think it would have any impact. I didn't really look at it that way, because if you consider yourself the best, and if you've been told you're the best, you need to compete. If somebody can beat you, you might not be the best. True. So you got to test it out, and so that's why I went into it, and I just knew that I want to be better than Olympia. If I was better than Olympia, that should put me in a good place.
Now, you were just telling me there while I was stealing all your cookies that you just wrapped up school recently. What did you study? What was your degree in?
I was getting my master's in strategic public relations at USC. Okay. So I moved from LA back to Georgia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you went to USC for college?
I did.
Wow.
For undergrad. I went to University of Pennsylvania for undergrad and master's at USC.
Wow. Yeah. So you were in LA for how long?
2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you go back to live?
No, absolutely not. I hated it. The people were so rude. It was just too much. I was like, I can't. I need to go back to Southern hospitality.
How was the traffic? Because I heard Atlanta doesn't have the best traffic either.
It's better than LA.
Okay.
I promise you that. We at least have some sense. LA is reckless. They're reckless. They have no regard for human life.
That is true. I lived there 10 years.
See?
Guy behind the camera knows what I'm talking about. He lives there.
I can see the LA vibe on you, but you look nice though.
So what was your prep any different for this, or is your prep always consistent no matter what the show is or what time of year?
Well, I prep year round. So basically I'll have my cheat meal today and I'll be back on prep tomorrow, getting ready for the Olympia. So I keep it going, keep the intensity high year round, so that way I never get too far away from my goal. So if I need to jump into a show one random time, my coach is like, let's do this show, I can get ready to do it in 2 weeks.
So when you post pictures on Instagram, they're not always throwbacks. You're in shape like that all the time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a big title. It's a very prestigious title. Obviously, you're probably just going to shut it down now and focus on that. You have other things going. You're also a successful posing coach, correct?
Yes.
How long you been doing that? How did that you get into doing that?
I started posing coaching when I was about 14 or 15. Years old, yes. I started competing when I was 14.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so I have scoliosis and lordosis, which a lot of people didn't know.
Wow.
So my spine is literally just all messed up. So with that, I had to learn how to pose for somebody who has a deformed spine. And so I started figuring out how the muscles work for people who aren't just like balanced. And most people aren't balanced. So it kind of worked out in my field to just figure out what looks good on everybody, and getting them to where they can anatomically based on just what they have, how can I make them look the best on stage? So I learned that from myself, and I started giving it to other people.
I can't believe you have scoliosis because I've seen you compete several times. The spine looks perfectly up and down. Everything looks in alignment.
No, it's all lopsided.
And that's just you compensating with your posing. Wow. And lordosis, that's the inward curve?
That's the lower back curve, so like it'll curve all the way out.
Wow. How do you fix that?
You don't. So when I was running track back in college, I would literally have to sit as I ran and keep my hips put under me so it'd be a straight spine. Yeah, so you just figure out ways to make it work.
So people think, you're just going to keep winning Olympias forever and ever. I mean, it'd be easy to fall into that trap of thinking, well, I'm this great, I can sort of coast. But how do you avoid getting into that mentality where it's so? I know it's not easy. You work your butt off for this, but when you look at you up there, you're so dominant. The way, the shape, the structure, everything just looks. You look like those trophies.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, so
that was my goal as a little girl.
So how do you stay hungry? How do you stay motivated to that level that you need to? Is it because you're the champ and you don't want anyone else taking that away from you?
That's half of it, but just me as a person, I know I can always be better. People always say, well, you might not be able to be better. There's always a way. There's a day that you could do something longer. There's a day that you could have pushed harder. Those days are what's going to determine how you look for your next show. So I know going into every prep, I want to be better than I was today. So when going in 6 months from now at the Olympia, there should be something different that wasn't on me today.
See, that's hard to imagine because you look at you on stage, you're like, I don't know how it could be better than that.
They said that last year, and the show before that too. And
Like, what are your goals? When you look at yourself, pictures, videos, what do you think could be a little bit better?
I always think my waist can be even tighter.
Okay.
I think so. We got it pretty tight this time, just to like some serious dedication to diet, and the fact that once I got off the stage from Olympia, I got right back on a plan, so my waist never got any bigger. So it just only got smaller from my Olympia waist. So that helped.
What does it measure in shape?
I think I'm at a 21 right now.
21-inch waist. Okay. Well, that's crazy. Well, Cydney, congratulations. 2 Olympia titles so far, and now 1 Arnold Figure International title. If that's not domination, I don't know what is. You are a figure for this current generation. You're the gold standard. So congratulations. Keep on doing what you're doing. You're awesome. You're inspiring a lot of girls out there to get up there and do this too, and that's a good thing.
Thank you.
So, all right. From musculardevelopment.com, it's been Ron Harris with the new champ, Cydney Gillen.
One of the guys that get a lot of credit is Steve Blackman from Muscular Development. I mean, those guys have done an extraordinary job for years and years and years to promote health, to promote fitness, to promote strength, to promote bodybuilding, powerlifting, weightlifting, and all of those kind of things. So the contributions they made is gigantic, and I hail them for that.